Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturday morning's messages of love from above, or Saturday night, depending on where you're at in the world. So excited as usual to see what messages come through from Spirit. A lot of beautiful Scorpio full moon energy still flowing out here. So enjoying the wave and enjoying all the lovely dreaming. I hope you guys are having fun dreams. Really, really distinct fun dreams coming through. So before we get started into the readings, I do want to send love out to the world. So if you'd like to join me in doing that, I of course more than welcome that. Whether you're watching this live or even on replay, we all can gather together and multiply love because we can gather outside of time and space where this love exists. So don't let it stop you if you're watching this on replay. Join us in this moment. So I'm going to take a big deep breath and come back to right here, right now. And just let that love flow down into our heart, fill us up, and then overflow out to the world, circling the globe across every land, all the water, throughout all the air, touching every heart that is ready to raise their love vibration higher and higher and higher, taking us to this loving place that we're going to be reaching here. And if you yourself, if you right now need love for your heart, for your mind, your body, for a situation, a relationship, or even for a loved one or someone that you feel needs this, just focus on them or yourself, and we send the love to you right now as well. Let's take it in like a giant bear hug from the Creator, from your spiritual posse, giant group hug. You are never, ever alone. Surround you with love. You are safe. You are loved. You are accepted. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me and doing that and allowing me the space for that. Before we get into the readings, I always have a couple little announcements. I like to make sure everyone knows that I do give away a personal reading every single Monday. And every Tuesday, I'll put out a video announcing what I'm giving away, how you can get into the drawing, and any other giveaway news. Here's the one from this last Tuesday, because this last Monday, I gave away 10 personal recorded readings because it was the end of the month and I was in a very just giving mood. Of course, Spirit is the one that nudges and pushes it. But I am also going to be giving away 23 more personal recorded readings, the chances of winning for the rest of May. So that's not even including those 10. So a total of 33 I'll give away for this month. And it's celebrating, there's this divine mother nurturing energy. Mother's Day, of course, here in the United States is this month, but there's just this giving, 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 giving. And so Spirit is like, here, more. And I love it. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in any of that. Also, I can't believe it is May already. And here we are almost a week into May. If you haven't checked out your May monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign, that's the playlist for there. And wow, we do have a month, like it says, ton of transformational energy. Pluto went retrograde on Monday. And Pluto, of course, is the rebirth transformation planet. And it rules over Scorpio, which we just had the lunar eclipse in Scorpio full moon yesterday. And then, of course, we're right in the middle of Mercury retrograde, which all this reflective, transformative, looking into ourselves energy going on. So if you want to check that out, it says, What's Shaking Up in Your Life was kind of the theme for May. And then each week I put out at least one pick a card reading. And this week's was what can help you in your current situation. So those were pretty cool. Of course, I think they're all cool, but make sure to check that out if that interests you. I also have a ton of pick a cards. I usually do one a week. Sometimes I'll throw in two, but I have playlists around love and abundance and life purpose and career and a bunch of other videos for pick a cards and series, a bunch of things. So check out my main page when you have a chance, and there's a ton of free content out there. All right, blah blah blah. Enough of all that. Let's get in here, and we'll get my desktop all set up, and we will get into the readings. If you are new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome. And how the free readings work is I do go down in order, first come, first serve, for the free readings. And all you have to do is put your question down in the chat. There's no special list. The chat is the list. And if you don't want to put your business out there, you can just ask for a general reading, and Spirit knows what you want, and we'll pull cards. If anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange. I'll step outside of the free readings. I do dive deeper and pull more cards for those too. And then once I'm done, I go back in order where I left off and continue going down the list. I'm usually on for about hour and a half, 2 hours. Sometimes I stretch it and go out of balance. Uh, but I'll be on for probably at least 2 hours this morning, trying to get through as many free readings as I can. To make a donation, you can use the super chat down below. I also, in my pinned comment and in the description box of the video, I have my PayPal, my Square, my Venmo, and my Cash App. So however you want to make a donation, you can use any of those. There's no set dollar amount either. I know it varies from day to day, person to person, country to country, planet to planet, in case any aliens are here. And So I don't look at the dollar amount. An energy exchange is an energy exchange. So that is all the blah, blah, blah. I am continuing to use these humongous Syrian Starseed Tarot. I love these. Let me just move my coffee out of the way so I don't knock things around. And we will get into the readings here. I do have a couple of donations, so we will start with those. Let me just shrink this up a little bit so I can see it a little easier. All right. So, Alex, thank you for your donation. You are up first here. And let me see here if you asked your question up above. If you haven't, go ahead and pop your question down below. All right. I don't see the questions here. And thank you, Sukanya, for your donation as well. So, Alex, I'm not sure. Let me just look one more time here. Okay, thank you. I was like, Okay, and thank you, Sukanya, for reposting yours. So, all right. So, Alex, you want to know what's to come in love with R? All right, let's take a look here. Let me just give these another shuffle before we start. All right. So, what does Spirit want you to know about what's to come with R? Whoa, all right. Well, those went flying over there. So they went these and then these two. So let's see what we've got here. Okay. All right. So we do have here the Nine of Crystals, which is the Nine of Pentacles in the Standard Tarot, and the Seeker of Crystals, which is the Page of Pentacles. So it feels like here, Alex, you've been in this kind of internal reflection mode, right? The nine is like the hermit's journey. So you've been like doing a lot of inner looking, and with spirit here, looking at your worth in relationship to the outside world. So that is bringing this new opportunity here, with R, that there will be this like an external event, a meeting, a gathering, you'll end up having this interaction in the physical world with them, with this seeker of crystals coming up. I like that. I mean, right in the middle, we've got the Lovers card, which does talk about important relationships, right? So it could be romantic, friendship, whatever. It just is an important relationship that, of course, is coming together here. And this is what is to come. It's very important in your life. But I feel like there's still a little bit more time. I know. I hate to be the bearer of patience news, but this is what it is. Higher self is about still as things unfold, making sure you're taking time to for yourself to step away, connect higher, go behind the veils, dive deep into your emotions and subconscious here, definitely connecting to the higher realms, because here is your human self and here is your higher self. And so they're still emphasizing a big piece of that helps things move along is that you're continuing this inner, reflection, this inner, time with spirit here in the garden, as they're here in the garden by themselves, and they are, connecting here, to the spirit world and understanding themselves more and more and more, finding their inner strength because they're realizing that there's so much more than the tiger, that they are this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And this is where you're going to find your fulfillment. And then when you do, then that's what allows this outside love to unfold, because the strength card has this wonderful message about excuse me, that the lion, in this case it's a tiger, but in the standard tarot it's a lion. They're hungry, they're thirsty for something, right? And when we're like constantly told to look outside of ourselves in relationships and situations and things to make us feel whole and complete, but those things never do, right? I usually say it's like American Chinese food. You eat it and you're hungry an hour later. It's like, why isn't this not filling me up? And so eventually we just get tired of being not fulfilled in the outside world. And that's when our higher self makes themselves known to us here. They come in here and they bring this beautiful, beautiful connection, and they sense the hunger of our human self, and they don't put us out of our misery or try to destroy us. Sometimes spirituality will say you must destroy your ego. It's like, no, your higher self fulfills your ego, fulfills your human, because what we're truly thirsting after is the unconditional love of the higher realms. And it's very convenient that our higher self is that powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. So we're able to join hand and paw, with the tiger. And then you see the world in a completely different way. You see this, um, the outside relationships, instead of falling short and not being fulfilling, you're fulfilled on the inside, and then everything on the outside is above and beyond extra. So rather than looking at someone going, why do they keep failing me, why are they lacking in all these things, we're looking at like, wow, look at, I'm grateful for them for this, and look at, they do this, and we look at the positives and the abundance things about them instead of the long list of things that they're not doing, right? So I like this for you. It's this continual path that you've been doing such a lot of work in, a lot of reflecting in, leaving behind emotions that no longer serve, leaving behind mindsets that no longer serve, and it's taking you toward, this loving relationship. But this other stuff happens first, because otherwise all you're going to see is what they're not doing, right? And you're going to be upset and mad and plotting revenge. No, probably not that. But, it gets the "Rrr." But that's what's coming through for you, Alex. So that is what they have. So many blessings to you. Hang in there. And again, thank you for your donation. I greatly appreciate it. All right. Up next, Sukanya Shri Kumar. Thank you so much for your donation. You want to know the current feelings of Neved. So let's take a look here and see what they have coming in here for you. Okay, now to that one, and then that one. All right. All right. So it looks like Neved here, they are going through quite a bit of change here. The shadow here, sorry for the reflection, these are very glossy. But the shadow is like Saturn energy, and they really are on this, shaking up of their life. They have the web here and they're stuck in it. And so it's like they're in this place in their life where every area of their life is just being rattled. And that happens for us because it shows us all of the small t truths, is what spirit calls them. And these are all rooted in the fears of losing conditional love. There are all these thoughts and beliefs and mindsets and attitudes and all these opinions we've been told all our life about what relationships should be and career should be and education should be and who I'm supposed to be, who they're supposed to be, blah, 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 blah. Um, and so, they are in this process here of, just being shaken up. And so, with their feelings, the Seeker of Flames, the Page of Wands here is about this new spark, this new drive. And so there's passion that they're allowing themselves to feel. So there are these attraction, physical attraction, but not, their emotions are like on hold. They're going through all of the shaking and rattling and rolling in their life, that it's like their emotions are in a safe somewhere where they can't be touched because they've got all this other stuff that's just blowing up in their life everywhere. It's almost like every area of their life is going through a transformation. They recognize the attraction towards you, but their emotions, they're on hold. They don't have, when you're talking about feelings towards you, specifically, they are, like I said, attracted. They are drawn to you. They like looking at you, and all those other little warm, fuzzy feelings that they get. They have that physicalness there, but I feel like emotions are muted. They are, like I said, in this soundproof box that the heart is probably, saying things, but it's in this box that we're not able to look into right now. So when we're asking what are their feelings towards you, it's like there isn't feelings for anything right now because they've turned it down. They're totally in reactionary mode. They're in like human animal mode where they're in fight or flight about trying to figure out everything in their life, trying to get things stabilized in their life. But that animalistic emotion is there, that they're there. So, yeah. So spirit shows you here, though. I like that they're giving you more because they have the hanged man, which is this is the pausing. Things are transforming, things are unfolding, especially with all this lunar eclipse energy, like I was talking about earlier with Pluto, and because that's the planet of transformation, and then Scorpio, full moon eclipse yesterday. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, right? Big transformational energies. So they are going through a lot of transformation, and it's just at its heightened place right now. I like the Master of Cups, the King of Cups coming in, though, because this is balancing of emotion and mind. So eventually, emotions will be let out of their cage, out of this soundproof room where they're able to voice it, and we'll know more on there. But right now, I feel like they're just going through this huge, huge thing. With Mercury retrograde, I think, is it like the 15th? I think it's around the 15th of the month is when Mercury, which is all the planet of communication, that's when it goes into its post shadow until June 1st. So you might start to see communication. We might start to see clarity as the eclipse season is lightening up because we're past the both of the lunar and solar eclipses now by a day. but the more further we get away from it, the less the eclipses, which are also, huge change, stuff. I feel like more towards June 1st, we will feel like, okay, I think, I hear the muffling of the heart, they're breaking through. So I wish I had more for you, but that's what they have. They're just like they're going through so much right now that the emotions are muted, and they're totally in werewolf mode from the full moon. But that is what they have, Sukanya. So hang in there. Many blessings to you, and thank you again for your donation. Hopefully, we'll get more here in the next couple weeks, right? All right. So that is what we have for the donations, I believe. All right. So we will start with the free readings and Maju Busal. Hello, hello. So, how will your 2023 be? What does Spirit want you to know around your 2023? All right. Let's take a peek into your. All right. Well, you've got some grounding going on here. Excuse me. So, you've got both the three and the four of crystals, which is the pentacles. Three of Pentacles is really, there is this transformation that's happening here where you're really learning to stay true to your authentic self. And I feel like a lot of it comes because of the Four of Crystals, which you learn a lot through the Four of Crystals, in that big lesson that comes from the card is when we define our worth by the outside world, we feel unstable because all those things are unstable. And we're all taught it. You're not doing anything wrong. We're all, as little children, are told, look to your friendships, relationships, people defining you, your school, your education, your job, situations define you, and things, your body, your bank accounts, your possessions, they all define you. They're all like, all these things define you. We're all pointed out there. But the thing about all that is they are unstable, right? People change, people pass away, people walk away. So relationships of any kind are unstable. Situations like jobs, education, all that, they never stay the same. They're unstable. And then, things like our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions, all of that, they deteriorate, they blow up, they burn down, they're, stolen. All of that is unstable. And so eventually, with the four of crystals, the four of pentacles, we're like, we turn the only place that we're finding anything stable, which is inward and upward, which is the eternal, unconditional love of the Creator, the mother and father of all things. And then when we have that beautiful, beautiful, stable foundation, because I mean, eternal and unconditional is pretty, pretty stable, right? Because we can't lose it and it never ends. And so we become stable, and then the outside world just becomes extra. We're not looking to it to complete us anymore or for our stability. We find it all inside us. And so it's beautiful, right? And then when you have that three of pentacles kicks in, because then I'm not looking for people's opinion to validate me, or things, achievements, possessions, all of that to define me. So I can then discover who I am and be more in tune with my true authentic self. So I feel like this is a lot of 2023 for you, is you're realizing how unstable the outside world is, and you're just turning inward and upward and inward and upward. And then you're like, oh, look, a relationship. Oh, inward and upward, disappointing. Oh, a job. Oh, disappointing. I feel like there's a lot of these beautiful moments of disappointment. I know it sounds, what? Masochistic, but it's not. It happens, we experience it, and then have this beautiful inward and upward movement. So I like that for you, Manju Busal. That's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. And up next, we've got VD Jalan. Hey, VD. Hello, hello. So, what is happening for you in terms of love in the month of May? All right. Well, I guess those right there are it. So let's see what we've got coming in here. We've got this one and these two. All right. So it looks like love, you've got some wonderful, wonderful connections with your the two of orbs is like the two of swords in the standard tarot, which is all about closing your eyes and opening your heart. And there's this um, two things that are happening towards love. And so I feel like you're doing some cleaning house to prepare for a relationship that will come. Because on one of the sides, you have the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Orbs, which you can see here. You're learning what of your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets have made you feel, blinded and bound and trapped like this maiden here. And the eight is a good, it's like the stream here, it's a flow because there's like four swords on each side. So there's this flowing of thought and belief where you're realizing what these past opinions and expectations have been making you feel like you're imprisoned and that you have all these fears, this long list of things that has to have happen here, and you're really working through those and releasing those. Then on the other side, you have the Six of Crystals, the Six of Pentacles, where you're learning the balance of giving here. We talk about the Six of Crystals or Pentacles a lot on this channel during these live readings because I'll have to say that's probably the card that I recognize the most that constantly comes up. And it makes sense in our day and age because the Six of Pentacles is about realizing our tendency to overgive and how our rate of exchange of love is out of balance. And it goes back to our earlier childhood, um, usually when our emotional body is being formed 7 years old and younger, where we are uh, have this feeling that we are overgiving to someone that we really want attention from and love from, and we're getting very little back. It's like 1,000 love coins I have to give, and I get one love coin back. So there is this, rate of exchange like that that's under in the subconscious down in the basement with the inner child, and they're ruling this. And even though in our mind, conscious mind, we're like, I want love, I want abundance, I want people to be able to give to me at least equal to what I'm giving. But why aren't people giving? Why am I not having these things come in? And it's because there's these, you know, beliefs underneath, but that rate out of balance rate of exchange, and our inner child's keeping score. It's like we have not reached that 1,000 love coins that you've given yet, so you don't deserve to get a one love coin back yet. And you're just like, oh my God. And then you hit it, and it's like hitting the jackpot. The walls come down, and you get a flood of giving, and then whoosh, they're right back up because it starts back at zero, trying to get up to 1,000 again. But there's hope because when you bring that out of balance rate of exchange into your consciousness and you think about who is it that I had to overgive to when I was a child, 7 years old and younger, to get a little bit back. It could be parents are usually the primary suspects, right? But could it be grandparents? It could be aunts and uncles or siblings, some of their family, could be coaches, could be teachers, could be friends, could be, but you're going to know it because it's going to come flying out of here into your consciousness and go, oh, wow. So it's like, let's say it was my mom or it was my dad or both because they were so busy trying to put food on the table and blah, blah, blah that and fighting, all the siblings were also fighting for the attention that I got very little. And you're like, wow. And when you become aware of that, then an edit button appears above the 1,000, right? And you can picture yourself going into that little 1,000 field there and delete, delete, delete to where it's just 1 to 1 instead of 1 to 1,000. And with that 1 to 1, you hit the little save button, and then it goes into your subconscious, and then that brings down those barriers and you see these changes. So I like that these are the things that they're having you do and look at, before you meet this next individual, because it's going to change the whole dynamics of the relationship, especially that last one. But the Eight of Swords is releasing any other thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that make you feel limited and trapped as well. So that's what they have for you, BD. So many blessings to you. Hang in there. It's almost there. It's almost there, right? So many, many blessings. All right. So we'll continue going down the list here. Up next, we have Rishi. Hello, Rishi. And let me just take a quick sip here of my coffee. So you'd like spirit's guidance on the relationship with your parents. If you play it on their terms, you feel controlled. And when you stand up for yourself, you feel that they hate. Yeah, it's that battle of control, right? So, what's the best way out? RUN. Run. I'm just kidding. Let's take a look here. See what advice Spirit has for you here. What? Okay. What advice do you have here? And you're not alone. I mean, that's the struggle of, I know sometimes that you have had extreme situations, of course, not downplaying that at all, but every child and every parent, when one of my close friends, when she got pregnant, she had a horrible relationship with her mom, and she was like, "I hope my child doesn't hate me." And I'm like, "Get you used to it, honey." I go, as soon as you don't give the child something they want, they're gonna hate you. And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "It's just a fact. If you just accept it, that you know what, them hating me doesn't define me." And that's as children too. Parents hating us doesn't define us. It's just fear, right? So we do have here the Nine of Crystals. So the Nine of Pentacles. And this does speak to like what I was just saying here with the Nine of Pentacles. Here is Spirit with you in the garden. And the Nine of Pentacles is this journey with Spirit of learning to define yourself from the inside and not from the outside. And so as you define yourself by your choices, your actions, looking at your worth completely different in relationship to the outside world, then things don't matter as much. This battle that we have of control and what it means totally changes, right? And the Adept of Orbs, which is the Knight of Swords, this is about looking at new ways of thinking, releasing old fears, and they're in pursuit of looking at things from a higher perspective. So if you truly want a relationship with your parents, which you don't have to, I know we've talked before about, you know, um, we all can reach a point in our life where we're like, you know what, my parents are humans just like me, but my mother and my father are the divine mother and divine father. The love I'm searching for, the unconditional love and acceptance I'm looking for, is from inward and upward. The humans that are brought, that we came into the world through, are human characters. They can't give us that unconditional love. And so when we're looking for them for that, we're going to be disappointed. So if you are truly, truly looking for, I want to continue to have a relationship with my parents, then you have to change your whole mindset of how you're looking at everything and come in with from a place of unconditional love instead of fear. And when you do, you look at when you say play it on their terms, you are basically saying, um, is it worth it for me to pay the price of the ticket to have a relationship with my parents? And if you're like, it's not, well, then there's your answer. If it is, then you do it. You know, um, if you feel controlled, well, they're reminding me. It's so funny. Of I used to manage an escalated call line at a corporation, um, and I would tell my representatives, people escalate and get upset when they're in fear, And if we ignite into fear, like when someone's yelling at in the phone at us, um, I go, you need to help them feel safe. You need to help them feel in control, because that is why they're upset. Their little inner child is feeling unsafe and out of control. And so you allow them to feel in control. And, someone rips goes, that's manipulation. I'm like, no, it's communication. In order for there to be communication, it needs to be adult to adult, not, and we talk about cat mind, not a cat to a human adult. It's like, wow. So if you want to communicate with your parents, then you don't make it about you. You make it about, okay, their actions are about them. And when they are saying unloving, uncompassionate, unintelligent things from your viewpoint, then they're in their cat mind. They're feeling unsafe or out of control. So you allow them to feel safe and in control by allowing them, whatever they need in the moment to feel safe. And then once we're both calm and we're both open and we're both in our loving, compassionate, intelligent minds, then we can have a conversation. But you can't have a conversation with a cat. You can pretend you're having a conversation with a cat, but it's all pretend. They're not really, there's no communication going on. It's just perception, right? So this is what they have here. If you truly want a relationship with your parents, then there's a price, there's a ticket that you have to buy, and it has to do with allowing them to feel in control, even on the inside. The other thing they're giving in, and this is for more than you, I believe, so whoever's listening, but there's this story that I heard about it. It's I think it was a pastor even like 40 years ago, but they're bringing it back because it just really made an impression. There was this family, they were driving a long distance together, and they had three children in the back, three brothers, and the youngest one was in the middle, and he was just picking on each of the brothers on either side, and they wouldn't stop. And so they pulled over, and this was before huge seatbelt laws and all this stuff. And they were like, all right, it was like a little 2-year-old boy. Excuse me. And they brought him up into the front seat, between them, and he wouldn't sit down. And they're like, "You need to sit down and put on your seatbelt." And and they were like, "No, I don't want to." And so they were being resistant. And finally, they of course pulled the parental wisdom 101. Well, we're going to take away all your toys if you don't do this. And they're like, "Oh." So they sat down, put on their seatbelt, and crossed their arms and said, I may be sitting down on the outside, but I'm standing up on the inside. And that shows that we can, you know, give people some of what they need in the moment if we want that relationship with them, and not take it personally. And when going back to what I was talking with my reps is, you can allow the customer to feel in control, knowing that you are truly in control. Because I would tell my reps, you know exactly what to say to, and this person would explode, right? Because you could tell a customer, well, if you send your payment in on time, you wouldn't have gotten canceled. I go, so you are truly in control, because at any moment, because that's the whole thing. We don't want to feel out of control, but when you realize I could say stuff and they could totally flip out because I know what buttons to push, it's almost like there's this knowing of like, you know what? I I am truly in control of my situation because I'm choosing not to push those buttons. So I'm in control, right? So hopefully some of that helps there. But that's what they have for you, Rishi. So many blessings to you. You hang in there. All right, so we'll continue moving down the list here. Very good. All right. So, Megs, you are up next. So, you'd like some guidance and near future related to your new startup business. All right, let's take a look here and see, what does Spirit want you to know? What advice? So you do have the Page of Cups here with the Page of Chalices, and you have the Master of Flames, which is the King of Wands. And this is so perfect because the King of Wands, this is entrepreneur energy. So perfect for it here. And I like the combination. It's like the guidance is to remember your why, remember your passion, and let it always help guide you in what you're doing here. I've been working on my little True North little note card here, so it can show it better. But that I have that there because when you really determine what your dream is, I feel like this is what they're saying with the Seeker of Cups is when you're aware of what your passion, what your heart wants with your life, your life purpose, and that's your dream, then every moment is a beautiful, beautiful moment of taking step towards it. You're not focused on an outcome because it's you're living your dream. You're taking step towards it. And the King of Wands, the Master of Flames here, they're able to really super focus their energy. And if it's something that is not meet your true north heading towards your dream, then even though it might be urgent, demanding your attention, but you're like, you know what, this doesn't fit into where I'm wanting to go. So I don't need to do that. So I'm using my energy towards what I want. And this is a beautiful, beautiful guidance around, a startup business is remember your why. Why did I want to do this? And is this my dream? Then I'm going to just enjoy and put everything, and there's no failure. There's temporary delays, there's, off ramps and back on ramps and all of this, but it's an adventure. A true dream, we don't define ourselves by the outcome of it. It's we're living it. That is us that we're living. If we're focused on the outcome, like I've got to get to $1 billion a year, then we're using that to define our worth, and that's something completely different. So identifying what your passion is and investing your energy into your true north and letting that be your compass will keep you on track, and it just allows things to unfold that way. So hopefully that helps. That's what they have for you, Megs. So many blessings to you. And Starfall, you are up next. And so far, May has been mostly, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. How will the rest of May go in general? Let's see what Spirit has for you. What do they want you to know here about the rest of your May? And what advice do they have here for you here? Yeah, you got 3 major arcana here. So so you got some great messages here. So major arcana means this is a major transformational time for you. I like that the Emperor comes out. It says reason, but it's number 4 up here, which is the Emperor in the Standard Tarot. And this is that they are the ones that are taking rulership over their lives. You have the transition card too, which is death and rebirth, right? So this is new beginnings. The Emperor is also Aries energy, which is new beginnings. And you have the karma card, which is the judgment card, but it's double endings and double new beginnings with 2 X's. So you definitely, all of this is showing here that we've got this empowerment with the Emperor being the primary um, ruler over their empire, right? But they have all of these thoughts and these beliefs and these mindsets, um, all these, blah, blah, blah from all of their advisors in the throne room. And at some point, the emperor goes, all right, I've heard enough. Thank you for your advice. Now get out. I'm about to make a decision, right? And they get to decide. They are the ones that get to decide what story they want to put to each situation, what emotion they want to feel, and where they're investing their energy. So the emperor has 2 sides to them, right? A loving emperor who gives and loves their empire and their kingdom, is a loved emperor because everyone, with the giving, then they love them back, right? And that's like the perfect kingdom, right? Because then they flourish, everyone flourishes, they impact the world in a wonderful way. But they also have a little inner child inside of them, like every human. And when that little inner child feels out of control, feels unsafe, well, it transforms from being a loving emperor to a tyrant and a dictator, feeling it needs to have control of everything, needs to gain more people's control, and all this stuff. So I like this because there is this transformation. All of these cards here are about this transformation and this movement of it's all within your hands. When something happens, we can define it as bad, right? Um, but that's our story. The story I'm putting to it is that this thing that happened is bad. And why do I think it's bad? Bad is a fear word, and that means that the definition I'm putting on things is based on an old belief system of opinion, popular opinion I was given when I was younger. When this happens, this is what it's supposed to mean, how I'm supposed to feel, and what I'm supposed to do with my energy. But we can change our habit. We can really look into here, with all this endings and beginnings, it's reminding me of the Tower card, which is this beautiful awareness that we can step into a place of life is happening for me. And I can look at it and go, why would I want this to happen for me? What am I learning about myself and others in the world through this? What is transforming, right? All this transformation energy. And we move from life is happening to me, which is like, this is bad. Well, because it's something bad is happening to me, instead of okay, why is this happening for me? And then I can look at it, right? And I like that you said it's mostly bad for me. Well, yeah, it is for you. So focus in on the for me and go, why would my soul, my higher self, would have wanted this for me? Because obviously our human is going, I don't want this for me. But our higher self, you know, they'll show us the work order with our signature and go, look, and so it's like, okay, how can I transform this? How can I look at what is happening? Usually disappointments and these things that are showing us that these things, these expectations are false. And why do I need that to happen? Byron Katie, she's a wonderful, beautiful soul. If you ever want to check out her on YouTube, she has a YouTube channel, but she has a website called The Work, TheWork.com. Beautiful, beautiful, free process, wonderful, sweet soul. But one of the things that she said that stood out to me and changed my life was she goes, when your thoughts and beliefs battle reality, they lose, but only 100% of the time. And I was like, "Oh, it's true. Reality, when it's like, no, this isn't supposed to be happening, but it is, guess who won? Well, it's like, obviously it's supposed to be happening because it is, but why? We're getting into it now, right? Of why do I want this to happen for me, and see how it can transform things. So I feel like with these three major arcana, this is a huge month for you to really become aware of the thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that are untrue, these opinions that you've taken on, like we all have. And it's the process of releasing them, seeing things from a higher perspective, from that place of unconditional love, and seeing how things are different here. Because every moment is either of unconditional love or fear of losing conditional love. And we're the ones that every moment choose what story with our mind we're going to do. Is it unconditional love or fear? What emotion do I want to feel as I go through it? Unconditional love or fear? And then also, where am I vesting my energy? In gratitude and unconditional love and all that? Or am I focusing on what's missing, what's in my life that I don't want, and I'm feeding and growing that instead? Because wherever we focus our energy is what expands. So this is what is coming in for you right now, Starfall. Hopefully, I know that was a lot. Luckily, you can rewind and listen to that as many times as you want, because they just like bleh, poured a lot of stuff for you, but it's very transformational, obviously, with all those cards. So I like it for you, Starfall. So hang in there. Many blessings for you. All right, Cheery, you are up next. And you'd like some angel guidance. All right, let's take a look here. Okay, they do want this one right here. What else? Okay, this one right here. All right. What a wonderful experience. I know these don't, it's like, woo. So we have the shadow card and we have the five of chalices. And I do like this for you. I know this probably doesn't feel good right now, but like your Saturn energy here, they are just shaking and rattling your cage around these, spilt chalices here. There's a lot of this lower vibrational emotions that were rooted in fear of losing love, of conditional love, fear of failure, fear of rejection, a lot of those. And it's, I like it for you, even though it might feel like overwhelming at times because the Saturn energy shakes our cage and shakes all these lower vibrational emotions to show us what is making us feel trapped and we're stuck in this, um, spider web, right? It's showing what's keeping us stuck, what's keeping us down, and in realizing that, oh, the cage I have myself in, actually, there's no door in the back. In fact, I like the example they give is because we're looking forward and we just see the prison bars here and here, right? And we're just like, oh my gosh, there's just no way out of this. And then spirit's just like, look behind you. And you're like, what? They're like, look behind you. And you're like, what? Oh, what? There's not even a wall. You can just walk away. And it's beautiful because it's freeing instead of feeling like so controlled and have these fears and this everything drawing us down. We realize that there's this power with the two of cups here, which is our power of emotional choice. And one of the choices is to feel all these lower vibrational, emotions, and the other is to feel the emotions of unconditional love. Neither is right, neither is wrong. I mean, the five of chalices, the five of cups tells us we came down here to experience the opposites of who we are so that we can more fully understand who we are. It's like this tapestry back here. If it was all beige, you wouldn't see any design. If it was all black, you wouldn't see any design. But because we're beings of light, we come down here to experience the darkness so that you can see the beautiful symbol of who we are, the Om, the life, creator's breath. And we're able to really understand ourselves more deeply. It's like we breathe air, right? I'm breathing air, but I don't realize I'm breathing air until I'm 6 feet underwater looking up at air, going, ah, that is air up there, and this is non air down here. And now I have appreciation and understanding of both, and I'm swimming back towards air so I can breathe. And that's what we do, our journey back to unconditional love. So each moment is one or the other. They just bring us different experiences, and you're kind of shaking and rattling and letting go of these older experiences because they're no longer for you. They're no longer doing what they need to do because they've done what they've needed to do, and you're done with them. And so you're releasing a lot of these things, and you'll feel lighter and lighter and lighter. So this is what the angels are wanting you to know. If you've been feeling some heaviness, it's because the contrast is becoming starker and starker, and you're understanding that love really is, it's all about love. Every moment is love. It's just different ranges of it. Like temperature, there's cold and warm, but when does cold begin? When does hot begin? Well, it could be anywhere along the spectrum, right, of the temperature gauge. Same thing with unconditional love and conditional love. We have this contrast and we see it. It's just we start just moving in this direction towards unconditional love as we let go of the coldness, right? All right. But that's what they have for you, Cherry. Hopefully that helps, and many blessings to you. All right. So we'll continue moving down the list here. You're welcome, VD. And we are to Christina Lowe. Hello, hello. The hello to the soul family. Um, Everything is well. I hope you are doing well as well. So your question is, what does spirit need or want you to know in regards to your recent discussions? You and spirit. Oh, okay. Let's take a look here and see. So you've been chatting up with spirit, huh? Okay, they actually want to give you three. Let's see what these are all about here. Okay. So you've got the Six of Chalices here, the Six of Cups, and the energy here. So with your discussions with spirit, the Six of Chalices represents like past lives, multiple lives, the past. It's nostalgia. It is all about you know, usually it's childhood and things coming back from childhood, but I feel like because I don't feel like your discussions with spirit were about your childhood. I feel like it was about so much more, and they're bringing in past life knowledge and past life information that's stored in your subconscious, because what we're 90% subconscious, 10% conscious. And so all of our akashic records and past lives and all that wonderful experiences and knowledge and information is down underneath there. That's why there's so much storage in our subconscious being used, because all those lifetimes are saved in there, right? And I feel like, that's part of the discussions that you had with them. I think they're like they're jesting, like, yeah, you were burned at the stake once, and they're like, haha, no, you weren't. Um, but there's this conflict, this fear that they were talking about with the Five of Flames that moves you from a place of feeling conflict or competition that moves you into this place of love. And so there is this movement from fear to love with this energy that comes in here. And I feel like that they're trying to simplify it and just say, every moment is either of fear or love, unconditional love. Simplify it, bring it down to that, right? Everything is an experience, like we were just talking about, like with the tapestry. It's all to show you who you really are. And I like this because they are showing here with the Ace of Flames, the Ace of Wands, that you are stepping into your power. You're having this new spiritual energy come in, those upgrades, these things come in. And so, this fire within you, the Kundalini energy, if you've talked to them about that, there's this fire that's rising up within you. And just to continue on the path that you're on, this Ace of Wands also tells you that whatever you focus on in each moment is what grows and expands. And again, neither is right, neither is wrong. They just bring you different experiences, and you came down here to experience both. So don't beat yourself up about, I'm not being super spiritual in this moment. Go with the flow, right? Knowing that you can change where you're focusing your energy, what emotional choices you're making, what mental choices you're making, and what energetic choices that you're making, because you do decide with, each moment. I decide what story I'm putting to this. We have a lot of old stuff, like, I think that's why they're bringing up the Six of Cups too. A lot of memories from this lifetime and past lifetimes that have these stories. When this happens, this is what it's supposed to mean, but it doesn't mean that we have to choose it. That's an opinion. That's option A, but we always have option B, which is of unconditional love for the story, for the emotion, and the energy. So I feel like this is what they are bringing through right now, Christina. So hopefully that resonates, and that's what they have for you right now. So many, many blessings to you. All right. Continue moving down the list here, and we're to High Priest Girl. And you want to know anything special about the rest of 2023? Nope, it's just going to be a bland rest of your year. Yay! I know sometimes we do want just a like sometimes a weekend where there's no plans and nothing to do, right? Wouldn't that be awesome? All right. I do like this here. You've got the great wheel, which is the wheel of fortune, which does show some endings and new beginnings that happen, of course, but they're very fortunate, where even your human feels they're fortunate for you. And you have the seven of chalices, the seven of cups here, which is all about, usually it's emotional confusion. There's a lot of emotion that's happening, but I feel like this is all the different things that are happening. It just feels like uh starting like this month, it's like May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. It's like your emotions just are rising and rising and rising and rising. There's just these, it feels like this little crank here is actually like the cranking of a crane of ways that's just bringing your emotions higher and higher and higher into this uh, higher place, but this beautiful feeling place too. So I feel like there's just going to be like something every single month. Either it's an aha or a wonderful harvest of something that you've been, planting seeds on, that you have these significant um, movements up, these significant steps up every single month until the end of the year, starting in this month. So that's what they have right now for you. I like it. I like it. Yeah, so many, many blessings to you, High Priest girl. Here it comes. All right. Shirley Mador, hello, hello. And oh, I didn't see your first question, so it must have deleted it. So no problem there at all. You can totally change your question. So you want to find out what are L's current feelings and thoughts about you and your connection. All right, let's take a look here. What about L? All right. See what we got going on here. So we've got the transition here, the death and the rebirth card that's happening here. And we've got the 6 of flames, the 6 of wands, which usually is kind of a victory card, being seen, being, uplifted. And the transitional card, of course, is like it's a major arcana, so it's a significant change in their feelings and thoughts around you and the connection. So it feels with the 6 of wands, it's like 3 wands on each side. I just feel, I don't know. It even though we have the death and the rebirth, it almost feels like a reboot, like whenever, knock on wood, with Mercury retrograde. We're this is just an example. We're not wanting this. We're not putting energy towards it. But like when a computer has problems, and then sometimes the what ends up having to be done is have it reset back to the factory standards, like the recovery disk. I feel like it's in recovery disk mode where it's been reset and it feels just like very generic, like out of the box. It's like almost like it's returned back to this f- I want to say fresh start, but it's like a fresh start feel, but it's just like, all right, well, let's see what's going to happen now. What do we want to add back now? I feel like there's been like this, you know, or what do they call it? Electric pulse, that little that clears everything out. And it's like, okay, here we go. What are we gonna do? Where are we gonna head? I feel they're kind of just in this holding pattern, a reboot, and now what's next? And I feel like that's where they're at. It just feels kind of that way, like feelings and thoughts, and it just feels generic. It just feels, like I said, they keep on saying like out of the box. And what where is it going to head from here? And I don't feel like they know. I feel like it's like at a crossroads. They had this big reboot and now they don't know. And it feels uncertain right now. So hopefully that helps and that makes sense. But that's what's coming through, Shirley. So hang in there. It's like, what is happening? All right. But many blessings to you. And that is what they have for you right now. And Star Girl, you're up next. So messages. from your Aquarius. All right, let's see what's going on from your Aquarius here. Wow. So you got two adepts, which are two knights. So you have, of course, the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Air in communication, which is them, their energy. Aquarius are air signs. And then you have the Knight of Flames, which is the Knight of Wands. Fastest moving knight out of them all. This is pretty fast moving too. But it's like a shifting of thoughts and beliefs and movement of passion too. So there are these. I just feel like there's this movement, but I don't feel, because we don't have cups, we don't have emotion, so there is some attraction that's happening here with the flames, and that, but they're also stuck in their minds, and this is normal for Aquarius, that they have a lot going on in their mind. And this always takes precedence over emotion, passion, everything else. They will go into their minds to analyze and to look at things, and kind of they look at different ways of doing things. They don't want to do things as normal. They hate being enclosed in by rules except their own. And so they've got all this stuff going on in here, and they're figuring things out, and there's this passion moving in here. But I just feel like there's a lot going on in here. It just feels like can almost hear the smoke coming out of their ears from all the thinking that's going on. And they have this passion that's boiling down on the inside, but it's like it's not being expressed outwardly yet. It's all that energy is going towards the mind, and it's all in there right now. So that's what's coming through. Um, Hopefully that helps right now. But you're like, yeah, that's going to be the Aquarius, right? So if you don't like that, then maybe they're not for you, right? Because that's where you're going to find it a lot. And it's like, okay, it's like, well, this is what lions do, or this is what bears do. You just have to accept that that's their nature, and not try to think that you're going to change it. Instead, it's more of like, how am I going to have this work between us, right? Let's find a solution, because that's how it works with them. All right, Star Girl, that's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. All right. Yep, absolutely, Libra girl. And this is a good time to say it too, because I'm past my first hour. And usually I try to do a little public service announcement at the top of my first hour. Um, how the chat works is, um, to get on the list. The chat is the list, so you just put your question there, and then I'll try to get through as many free readings as I can. If you don't want to put your business out there, you can just ask for a general reading. Spirit knows what you're wanting, and we'll pull cards for that. But also, if anyone makes a donation, I do step out of the free readings and prioritize those, and I also dive deeper into those more cards, and then I return back and move my way down the list. I'm usually on for about 2 hours, so try to get through as many free readings as I can within that time. Um, and so that's how it works. You can make a donation by super chat down below. If you check the pinned comment or the description box of the video, I have my Venmo, my Cash App, my Square, and PayPal. They're all listed there. And there's no set amount in donations, whatever it is. I just honor that. All right, so that is how that works. So we'll continue moving down the list. We're to Ms. Dra. What he likes in you and admiring in you. All right. So I do want this here. And it's funny, Spirit always reminds us that what other people admire in us is because they recognize and admire it in themselves. And that's the mirror that we are to one another. Also, the stuff that irritates the heck out of us in other people, yeah, it's because we're recognizing that when we don't like it in us either. So I like it here. So We do see the Sage of Flames, which is the Queen of Wands, which so they see this strength, they see this intuitiveness, they see, that like when you walk into a room, people notice you, people see you. You're able to really put your energy down and get things done too. Very energetic, has a spiritual energy, but all the queens also get a second portion of water, which adds to their connection to the higher realms. So you do have this air about you of mystery, of mysticism in a way where people just pick up that energy like there's something different, like you're connected somehow, and so they pick that up in you there and they do admire that. Sometimes you might mention someone's feelings or something and they're like, I don't think I told you that. And you're like, well, I'm remembering it from somewhere. Well, you are, Chapoong, you're getting it from somewhere else. They also see this again, there's this spiritual connection here because, the strength card is about your human connecting with your higher self. And there's this beautiful strength that you're finding your wholeness from within and not so much from the outside. So there is this inner strength that they pick up from it. Again, these are things they admire about themselves too. So they see that in themselves, but they also see it reflected in you, being their mirror. So, those are two things that they admire about you, and that is what they have right now for you, Ms. Draw. So many blessings to you. And up next, we've got Bella Bala. So, Bella, you are up next here. Very good. So, Bella Bala. So, any guidance for you in your current situation? Let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know? Okay, they do want that one there and this one here. So you got the Master of Crystals. This is the King of Pentacles. And you have the Seeker of Flames, which is the Page of Wands. So, um, you know, the guidance in the current situation, the King of Pentacles tells us, one, we have abundance, we are taken care of, but they learn a lot of their knowledge too around where they are. Um, Looking for validation of their worth, right? And this is a lot about turning inward and upward and discovering that, the outside world is very unstable. And when we look to it for fulfillment, we do feel unstable. The Four of Pentacles is one of the big pieces of wisdom that really changes the King of Pentacles' lives as they're living throughout their entire Pentacles, suit. And so they learn that, relationships, situations, and things are constantly changing, especially people. People change, they pass away, they walk away, jobs and stuff never stay the same, and possessions and things break down, deteriorate, blow up, etc. So we eventually turn inward and upward to find out what is eternal and unconditional, which is the love from up above. That becomes the foundation. Then you have a very strong foundation. You also see the world in a whole different way. Instead of a place of being full of lack, it becomes a place of abundance. And the Seeker of Flames, the Page of Wands, also teaches a very empowering, uh, you know, not lesson, but information and awareness they bring to us because they're like, here, I'm learning to use this magic wand, and I'm realizing that whatever I focus on is what grows and expands. Because when I focus on what I'm grateful for in my life, more things to be grateful for come in. When I focus on unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter and, you know, all the stuff I do want to draw into my life, things move toward me, things get bigger that are related to that. But they also realize when they're looking over here in their fears that those also expand and grow because we're powerful. Wherever we focus our energy, wherever we're pointing our magic wand is what gets bigger. So if I focus on my fears, like if I focus on what I'm missing in my life instead of what I'm grateful for, I'm telling the universe, I love, like when we're focused on gratitude, we're like telling this energy that we're putting out is, I love feeling grateful. Like, oh, let's give them more to be grateful for then. All right. When I'm focusing on that I'm missing something, we're telling the universe, I like missing things. They're like, oh, let's give them more things to miss. No, or I really hate this being in my life. They're like, oh, they love to hate things being in their lives. Let's give them more things to hate, in their life. And it's like, no, right? Because when we focus on a fear of losing something in our life, we will repel it out. And when we fear bringing, that something will come into our life, we actually have like a fishing thing, reel and then we, and bring it back. And so a big piece of guidance is what are we focusing on? Because we're the ones that are drawing it in, and I can change my focus. And if I find myself, which most of us do in the beginning, focusing on the fears because that's what we're taught, right? Focus on what you fear will leave and come in. And then why is all this stuff happening to us? Well, we're taught that. Who set me up? But when we realize that we can do something, put reminders all over the place, put a silent vibrating alarm on your phone called gratitude, where every waking hour it goes off or every half hour, whatever you need to bring you back to gratitude, to bring you back to gratitude, to bring you back to gratitude. Because we'll get drawn back over here and we need that alarm. We need those reminders to keep bringing us back where this becomes our habit instead of that. So that's what they have for you, Bella Bala. So many, many blessings to you. That is what they have. All righty. So we'll continue moving down the list here. And thank you so much, SK, for liking the video. And it's a great opportunity and a reminder for me, too. I get caught up in the readings, and I just want to thank you guys so much for all the thumbs up that you give the video and videos. It does a lot more than you think. It seems like a small thing, and it's free to do. But the YouTube algorithm loves it, and it helps spread the Zen love. So thank you so much for being part of the love tsunami by hitting that like button. All right. So, SK, you want to know, what does Niharika Toluha want to tell you? And Shrey, thank you, Shrey, if I'm saying that correctly. Let's take a look here. What do they want to tell you? All right. Ready. So the six of flames here, is about recognition and victory and being seen. And the three of flames, the three of wands, is about taking a different direction. And I feel like here what is coming through here is that either you or them or both of you don't feel recognized, you don't feel seen, you don't feel this place of um, it feels recognition, but it's like I just don't feel like I'm important. Okay. It's like one of you feels like you're uh, trying to fit the other in between the important things in your life, if that makes sense. So instead of like, it's like, well, I've got this and this and this and this and going on, I can fit you in here. It's that type of feel that's coming in here. And because of that, there's like this different direction that is being taken here. And so it's like where we thought you're going, there's a different change of direction that's going with it. So this is the energy that's coming in. It's kind of unique. It's not what it normally means. And usually it's you that's changing directions and going a different direction. So maybe that is you that's feeling that way. And, I feel like, what do they want to tell you? They're not going to change. If this is them doing that to you, this is them saying, this is the way it is, this is how I live, and if you don't like it, then maybe a different direction is better for you. And not to be crass or cold, that's just the energy I'm feeling from them, right? So if that is them, then that is what's happening. Or if that's not, and you are the one that's fitting them in between important things, that's the energy that they're just like, this is the message I feel like I'm getting from you. You don't like it, hit the road. But that is what is coming through, SK. So hopefully that resonates. But that is what is coming through. You are welcome. Hey, Cynthia Brito. Hello, hello. Will you be able to pay your rent on June 1st? All right. Let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know about rent June 1st? All right. So we have the Three of Flames, the Three of Wands. I just put that in there and it just came back out again. This is about a different way of paying rent. That sounds not that. No, no, no. This isn't that type of channel. But the Strength card, this is very much Leo energy um as well. And so because don't you have a Leo in your life, don't you? I almost feel like that they can help you with it. They'll help you either find a way to pay the rent, or they can assist you. Either way, I feel like opening up to the Leo, whoever this is, that you're able to do that, but it's in a different way than you normally, like you thought it was going to be paid, but it's going to be paid. But definitely, you have to include the Leo in the mix there. So that is what they have for you, Cynthia. So hang in there, hang in there. Or a Leo if it's not the Leo, but I feel like it's that type of energy. All right, so that is it. So Maju, you are up next. So Maju, you want to know who's obsessive towards you? All right. Uh-oh. Who is obsessive towards you? All right, let's take a look here. They want these two. All right. Well, you have the Six of Swords and you have the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like it's someone who's very grounded, probably an earth sign, but because they're very patient. It's like they might be, obsessed, like how they are with this pentacle here, but they're very slow. I do see with the Six of Swords that there is movement of thought and belief, and so that could mean they'll make themselves known. But I feel like it's been a long time, and they're very patient. They've been waiting for the opportunity, and but they don't rush it. They're just like, you know what, the opportunity will arise. And even if they've told like a best friend about, that they're attracted and they want to do something, like, well, do it. And they're like, no, no, it'll happen. It'll happen. They're just like not fast moving. But I feel like with that Six of Swords, things are a movement, things are changing because it is a movement card. Usually it's someone in like a boat, leaving behind old ways of thinking, moving to new ways of thinking, from rocky waters to calmer waters. So I feel like they're getting up courage here slowly. Um, so maybe June with that six, maybe June, they will get brave and put something on your desk or something, right? So nothing spooky, scary, stalker type. It's just someone that's just very patient with that, and um, not very expressive yet. So that's what is coming in for you, Maju. So many blessings to you. All right, Rose with the pink flower. Rose, hello, hello. You'd like to know your future spouse. Your future spouse is single, looking for you. Okay, so I think you're asking if they are single and looking for you. All right, let's take a look here. Spirit knows what you're wanting, so let's take a look. You know, I I don't feel like your future spouse is currently looking for you. I feel like they are this 10 of wands feels like quite honestly, they I feel like they're recovering from a relationship because the 10 of wands is like this burden. They've been in this cavern and they see the light at the end of the tunnel. So they either are just getting out of a relationship, or they're ending a relationship, and there's this restart because the 10 is the endings and new beginnings. So I feel like they are, with all the energy they were investing in the relationship and all these spilt, the three spilt chalices, the three spilt cups here, that they are still focused in on this and getting out of this. So I don't feel like they are, um, if they're not single right now, if they're single right now, it's like they're freshly out of a relationship that's ended. Or if they're in a relationship, it's ending, it's in the process. It's almost like they already know it's ended, but maybe it's like they're separated and they're divorcing if it's a marriage, or if they're in a relationship, they just know and they're like sleeping on the couch or sleeping in separate rooms and they're just figuring out how to get out of the lease and stuff together, that type of thing. But it's going to be a little bit of time because, of course, we want them to not have a lot of emotional baggage when they come into the relationship with you. So it's going to be a little bit, or it has been a little bit, and they are, I feel like they are still finishing up getting rid of the old stuff to prepare for yours. So, um, and it feels more like it has been over, and they've been working on their insides because feel like it's going to be sooner than later that you guys meet, right? And um, they are already processing it. They're reminding me of my first relationship. Um, I was with them for 3 years, but already it had pretty much ended at the second year. I was already over it by the time we actually broke up, but it was feeling new for them breaking up. But it had already ended because they had gone outside the relationship and stuff. So my heart had already turned into a cold ice crystal. uh, but so I feel like they are, beyond that. So that's what they have for you, Rose. So many blessings to you. Hang in there. All right. All right. So up next, lovely Lovey. Hello, hello. Good Saturday to you, lovely Dudette. And you'd like an energy reading on LE. Is he what he displays or no? Dun dun dun. Let us find out here. All right. We have the Five of Swords here. So there is some conflict inside. I feel like with all of this, because we've got the Justice card here. So I feel like with the combination of these two, they do, to an extent, show themselves who they are. Like all of us, we're not always 100% going, here's who I am, right? Most of us aren't that way. Most of us are like, you have to earn the trust to really get to know me. We have like stages that we let people in, right? That's normal for humans. So I feel like this is normal. It's like there's, the justice isn't blind here. There's this balancing. I'm seeing the Five of Swords a lot like this, where one of the swords is the Ace of Swords and the other two are balanced. So I feel like you get a good picture of who they are, but there's still, of course, some stuff on the inside. Because we got two other major arcana here. We've got the Magician, which is the divine masculine energy, and they have the Ascension, which is ending of old cycles and new beginnings, normally the World card. So there is this, endings and new beginnings, this renewal of who they are. And I feel like, you know, they're showing the standard self, but they're doing a lot of changing on the inside, in positive ways, by the way. Um, but it's something that they don't feel safe sharing yet, because it's such a beautiful transformation of letting things go, changing and stuff, that they they don't say it out loud, but they have a lot of it's mental attitude, expectations, releasing things out of their life. And the magician card, I really feel, is something like they're stepping more and more into their power, though they may not um, reflect it on the outside. So I like it. They're becoming stronger and stronger on the inside about their worth and who they are. And but uh, but I don't feel like anything that they're not showing is not like a, ooh, deep dark secret that's horrible. It's more that they're changing for the positive. They just don't wanna rock the boat with people because they know a lot of people like them for certain things of who they are, but they're like, a lot of it they're moving away from, type of things. Like, in the example they're giving, and this doesn't necessarily have to be this situation, but it's like if you hang around with people, you go party with them, and you go out drinking, and that's how they like you. Drinking with them, they start drinking less because they're like, I just don't want this for me anymore. They start ordering water or soda instead of alcohol, and they start are changing, but they're like, but I'm not ready to tell them that yet because I don't want them to feel judged, and I'm not ready to for the blah 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 I'll get from them, that type of thing. So that's what's coming through, lovey, lovey. So many blessings to you. No, nothing to, no red alerts or red alarms coming in. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling with that. No, 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 no red flags coming up. All right. So Silent Victory, you are up next. Hello, hello. So general reading on what good things you can look forward to. All right. Let's take a look here and see what the spirit wants you to know. What encouraging things for your future do they want you to know here? One and two, and one and two. So you got the Ace of Orbs and the Two of Orbs. So Ace of Swords and Two of Swords. I like this. Something to look forward to. You do have some new beliefs, new mindsets coming in, which I really like. This some great wisdom and connection to up above, like some great knowledge that's being dropped. They're dropping some knowledge for you. And the Two of Swords is showing this wonderful balance in your thinking, and you're bringing your heart in here too. So something to look forward to is like just this wisdom. Just it's like there's going to be some opportunities coming up where decisions that might have been confusing before aren't, because you are not fearing as much as you had in the past. You've been really releasing a lot of fears and a lot of expectations. And the what to look forward to is there's these new opportunities and new decisions to be made, and they feel very easy. They feel very calm because you're seeing things differently, and you're closing your eyes and opening your heart, and you're allowing your intuition and your heart to have a seat at the table, and you're not just making decisions with your mind. You're allowing your intuition and your heart to help as well. So I like this. This is a good thing. It's like decisions become more and more no brainers. And then you just like, I used to overthink and overdo it, in thinking about things. But now you are able to go, yeah, this is what I want to do. And this is why. And my heart tells me yes too. So I'm doing it, and I like it. So that is something definitely to look something nice to look forward to, right? All right. So that's what they have for you. So many blessings for you. And double, triple, quadruple X, you're up next. You want to know what is coming in for you. All right. Let's take a look here. Whoa. All right. That evidently is your card. All right. Well, you do have this newness coming in here with the Adept of Chalices is the Knight of Cups. So there's this movement of emotion. And you have the Starseed, which is the full card in the Standard Tarot. A new beginning, a new adventure, free of a lot of expectations. So I do feel like this heightened love is headed towards you here. And it is an individual that is, you know, they're going to be wanting romance. They're going to be wanting emotion between the two of you. but they're going to want it without any restrictions, without any expectations. They're just wanting to go on this adventure with you, right? They're just wanting to go and explore and not have a supposed to and a should and a need to, have to and a must. And the what is our relationship at? What's our relationship status? I need to update my Facebook. It's like none of that. They just want to be able to flow and go with this. And it's new. And I like it for you because, if you can keep expectations at zero as much as you can, it is beautiful because rather than seeing where eventually we start looking at where they're failing, we continue just being grateful for all these wonderful things, not focusing on where they're falling short of these old mindsets, but you're just really focusing on who they are, getting to know them, being grateful for all these things. It's like, be grateful, be grateful, be grateful. I feel like this is a new path for you in seeing someone in a different way, from a place of gratitude and free from a prison cage, not trying to put the little birdie in a cage. You're allowing them to be free and not fearing that they'll leave. You're enjoying it for what it is and saying, hey, if you fly away, you fly away, but I'm going to enjoy you for you who you are now. And I'm not going to try to put you in a cage. Be free, birdie, be free. So that's what's coming through double, triple, quadruple X. And many blessings to you. All right. Princess Pinky, you are up next. And you wanted to, are you going to level up your energy? Oh, a level up energy reading. All right. Let's take a look here and see what Spirit wants you to know about leveling up that energy. All right. Let's take a look here. Wow. I just put that card back in. It came flying back out. So I like this because really this means, yes, that you do have this leveling up that's happening, because the zero being the full card represents also the soul before it comes down here. And the strength card represents your human self connecting with your higher self. So this definitely is saying that the more that you tune inward and spend getting to know your higher self, and it's it's like we don't have to change um ourselves. Like we don't have to become someone different. All we're doing, it's like Rumi who says we don't have to find love. We just need to discover the barriers that we've created between us and love. Same thing with our higher self, right? It's not that I have to become a different person. It's like I am a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. I just can discover the barriers that I've created in my human world between me and realizing who I am and my power and my energy. And as we cut away more thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve us and emotions that don't serve us, we are clearing the clogs in the pipeline that we've put between us and that energy and that awareness of our power and the amazingness of the being that we really are. So I feel like that is what is coming in here, and I love both of those cards coming in because it is the more time you look at, I want to get to know you and let me clear away these things that are not in alignment with who I am. And it just clears open things. And then that you just get these floods and the energy, the flow gets bigger and bigger and more chunks are removed and flow gets more and more. Your energy goes higher and higher. Your love vibration increases more and more. The more we turn down our fear noise and turn up our unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter and gratitude, the more we connect with our higher self. So that is what they have for you, Princess Pinky. So many blessings to you. And we continue moving on down the list. You are very welcome, Lovey, and double, triple, quadruple X. All right. So Dijona Sturgis, you are up next. Let me just take a quick sip here. All right. And Dijona, what does Spirit want you to know right now? That one right there. Come on, let it go. There we go. All right. Yeah, so Spirit wants you to know here, you are making progress here with the, your emotions and your feelings. The 7 of cups, the 7 of chalices, you are moving in this direction. You are clarifying your emotions, what you are really searching in. And it's almost feels like these are all the wishes that you can choose, and you're discovering what it is that you do want to do with your heart. You have this ace of crystals, the ace of pentacles coming in, and the three of wands, which shows the three of wands is you're changing direction. You are choosing to go a different direction, and a new opportunity is opening up in your life. But it's because you're realizing what of all these wishes that everyone unfolded and told you, which one is the one you want, and the ones that were what everyone else wanted for you. So there is this clarity coming in about your life purpose, about what you're wanting, how you're wanting to uniquely express the unconditional love in your heart with the world, and it's allowing you to take a different path than you were before. But you are the one that's choosing to go off in a different direction, and Spirit is supporting you in that change. So whatever this is that's coming up, it's more in alignment, and it makes your heart sing, and you're like, okay, this is where I'm going and what I'm doing. So that is what they have for you, Dijonas. So many, many blessings to you. And we'll continue moving down here. We're to self love. Hello. And so you want to know what your higher self and future self messages are. So we'll pull two cards here. One from your higher self, okay, which is that one, and then one from your future self, your future human self. So your higher self and your future self. All right. So your higher self here, the Nine of Crystals, uh, your hermit's journey, your higher self, of course, with Spirit. Come here, come and spend time with me. Your higher self wants you to step away in the outside world and really look at your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way from their perspective, from that perspective of your higher self, because it does transforms things. It allows your life to feel so full and so overflowing. One of the examples Spirit gives is, we're told to look in the outside world for that which will fill us up, but we're looking for a 10-course meal with two desserts. And all the outside world can give us is third dessert, fourth dessert, fifth dessert, etc. And they can't fulfill us, right? We can only eat so much dessert, and we're like, I need real nourishment, I need some real food, my heart is feeling out malnutrition. And so we turn inward and upward to our higher self, and that's where we find the 10-course meal with two desserts. We feel so full and so complete. And then we look at the outside world and we're like, wow, I don't look at it as such a lacking place that's always falling short, because I have everything I need within me. I look and see that everyone else has all these desserts they can offer, and we can always make more room for desserts. So we'll allow third and fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh dessert. But if someone goes, no, I'm not going to give you seventh dessert, you're like, "Brr, I'm okay. I'm full. So that's fine. It doesn't impact us like before, where someone is, we think that they're supposed to be giving us our 10-course meal, and that seventh dessert they're offering is my meal. No, it changes the whole aspect of things. And that's what your higher self is wanting you to look at with that. And your future self shows here the Three of Cups. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. That's it. Your future self is like, you are going to be so happy and so full of joy. And this is based on your current energies. So your future self, they're just like giddy, happy, um, you know, overflowing with this beautiful, beautiful joy and all this love. So their message to you is just hysterical laughing and giggling and grinning from ear to ear and glowing with happiness and joy. So I like it, right? You're like either that or they're in a little padded cell, which I don't think that's it. I feel it's really pure, true joy, not a medicated one. So that's what they have for you, self love. So many blessings for you. Hang in there. All right. So, Stella, you are my next free reading coming up, but I do have a donation that came in. Thank you so much, Dune, for your donation. And you want to know what can we see regarding your finances in the summer? All right, let's take a look here and see what does Spirit wants you to know about your finances in the summer. Summertime, summertime, summertime. All right, and these two. All right. Well, I do like this. We'll start with this in here because we've got the Ace of Wands, Ace of Flames coming in here, and the Guidance, which is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant really is this invitation to dive deep into your own heart and what is the capital T truth of who you really are and who you want to be, and what's the capital T truth of what you really want in life and where you want to head, etc. A very much a deep, it's almost like a hierophant, I mean a hermit in a way, of they're like drawing you into your truths, though. This is all about your truths. What are your truths? And I feel like when you're doing this, you do have this Ace of Wands, you have this passion, this ignition within you of what is it that you truly want, not what you've been told that you're supposed to, need to, have to want in your life. And this is a part of the finances that come in, is because if we're doing things um, to get finances, and that's our only goal, there's going to be some um, wavering of that, because it's not being true to who we are and what we're wanting. So if I'm not living my dream and my passion, and I'm trying to define myself by finances, let's say, then I'm going to have challenges with finances, because my higher self is wanting me to, with this um, combination here, is wanting me to go inward and go, no, this is not, that doesn't define me, this defines me. And then I'm going to invest my energy towards this, whatever this passion is of expressing my love to the world in this unique way. Then we're not focused on so much an end result, but we are taken care of. We are always have what we need coming in. So they wanted that there. And we have this too coming in here, which is this the alchemy is the temperance here, and the Eight of Cups. Leaving behind emotions that no longer serve allows you to walk towards a wish fulfillment, right? And the alchemy here is this, it takes time, it's the two cups that come in here, going back and forth, where it eventually turns to gold. So I feel like here that they're having you do this inner search. They're having you really discover what it is you truly want to do. And then struggle is a choice, right? Um we when we go after our dream and we allow it to unfold, we just, the abundance just flows in. We have enough what we need. Now, if I'm like, well, I need $1 million, and Spirit's like, well, you really don't, you know, this is a time to learn to trust in different things, right? I just feel like that there is this revamp that they're wanting you to, where are you focusing your energy? What are we focusing on? The Ace of Wands, too, will tell you that whatever you focus on is what grows and expands, right? So when we start focusing on gratitude for what we have, we're telling the universe, I love the feeling of being grateful. And then our energy says, oh, well, good. Let's bring in more things to be grateful for. Right. So then more things come in. I focus my energy on unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter and all that. Then it's like, I love feeling this. Like, oh, let's give them more of it. But if I'm focusing on what I feel is missing, then the universe we're telling, our energy is saying, I love feeling like I'm missing things in my life. then they're like, "Oh, give them more things to miss because they like it." We're like, "No, wait," or like I'm focusing on things I don't like in my life, like I hate in my life. Well, I'm telling I enjoy this, so I want more of it. So we draw it in. So if I fear something is going to leave my life, I will repel it. If I fear something will come in, I will draw it. Or if I feel like I'm missing, like if I feel like I'm missing finances and I focus on it, then then I'm going to draw that in, right? So that is what they have coming in here. Yeah. It all depends on what you focus on, Dune. So if you focus on missing, 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 then you will miss money, right? But so begin to experiment with gratitude, and this is like leaving behind the fears, the fearful emotions that no longer serve you, trusting things are unfolding, really focusing in on your truths of what you want in your life. But with that ace of wands, it's really paying attention to what you're focusing on, because it is you're co-creating your life with you. So truly change where you're investing your energy. And if you we all are taught to focus on fear of not having enough, fear of things coming in that we don't want, and then we have things leaving and coming into our life that we don't want, because that's what we're taught to do with our energy. It keeps us in this chaos, right? But if you um, I mentioned this a little bit, so if you've heard it, I apologize. Don't mean to bore you to death with it, but it helps so much. Doing a daily gratitude journal helps, something to be grateful for. But if you want it to happen faster, I put like a vibrating silent alarm on my phone that just says gratitude for every waking hour, and it brings me back to gratitude, because we'll get drawn out into the fears. Our habit is to focus on fear of, not having enough and all that. But if I keep being drawn back to gratitude, 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 you're going to see things change with that, because our energy has so much of an impact with it. So that is what is coming through, Dune. So hang in there. I know it's like but that doesn't make sense. That's not what we're taught in the human logical world. When we're like, I know, right? That's why we have so much struggle, because we're not taught the powerful way. We're taught things to keep us disempowered. And, but this is powerful for you. So that is what's coming through. Hey, Stone Epiphany Tarot. Sure, you can do this free readings. I'll see how far if I'm gonna get that far here, but definitely we can do that. And that's a good time to say it. I'm let's see here. Got like one. Let's see, two, three, four, five, six. Oh yeah, I have got quite a few more left. Um, so I'm hitting almost my 2 hour mark. I'll be on for about 15 more minutes. So I'm going to have so I've got Stella and then Arshish Jahan. Those will be my last two free readings for this session. But if anyone wants to make a donation of any kind, I will prioritize those and still complete them in this session. But those will be my last two free ones. And before everyone leaves, let me just make sure I have a weekly giveaway every Monday, and here's the video link for that. Like this last Monday, I had the month end for April. I did a big giveaway of 10 free personal readings, and I will be giving away 23 more for the remainder of May. And so, if you want to check out that video, it'll tell you how you can get into those drawings and when they're going to be happening. And also, if you have not checked out your May reading by each individual zodiac sign, here's the playlist for that. That came out on Saturday. And I also have a ton of pick cards available on my main page. The one that I put out this week, I usually put out at least one, is what can help you in your current situation. So if you're not able to make a donation and you need answers right away, please check out my main page, because I have a ton of pick a cards and other resources that are free there. And I shall return in about 6 hours for my evening session. And if you are subscribed, make sure you have in your notification settings all selected, because I put out an announcement about an hour before I go live, and you can get in line and put your questions there. So that's a way to, it's like a free concert with no assigned seats. People get in line early to get a good seat. That's kind of how that works. So, some alternatives there. Also, I do offer personal readings at a reasonable price. So, you can check all those in the description box of the video down below as well. So, yeah. So I just want to make sure you guys are aware of all those things. And I will be back tomorrow too, 11 a.m. Mountain Time in the morning and 7 p.m. at night, because I'm here quite a bit. So um, that is how that works there. All right. So, Stella, upcoming growth in your life. Let's take a look here and see what does Spirit want you to know around this here. All right. Well, evidently, you do have some coming here. You've got the Great Wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune, ending and beginning that's happening. And you are taking off in a different direction, Stella. The Three of Wands, Three of Flames is like you had plans, like you're in the middle of a continent and you're going to go to the shore. And then once you get to the shore, you're going to take a boat and go off this way. Well, while you're in flight, going from the inland to the coast, you have new information, you have new things that happen, new things that unfold, and you're like, you know what? I don't want to go that way. I'm going to go this way. But it's you initiating this change in your life. But you have these things, even your human feels these changes are fortunate for you. So you do have at least one significant ending a new beginning that sparks you to go in a different direction that's very exciting and that you're initiating to do. So I really like it for you, and it's a big growth thing, because I feel like it's something that you've been holding back on, and possibly it's moving into a different location. This is the feeling I have, like you have always wanted to live somewhere else, but you always had all these attachments, like, you know jobs and family and this and that and everything else. But it feels like some things that change free you up, where you have this window of time where you're like, you know what? I could do it now. And you do it. And I like it. So that's what's going on, Stella. So many blessings to you. And we'll continue moving down the list here. And where we at here? So, Arshish Jahan, you wanted to know, when will you and your husband separate from your in-laws? Oh, when are you going to get away from them, huh? Let's take a look here. When are they going to get their your own place, huh? Let's see what else we have here. Hmm. I like it here because the 10 of orbs, the 10 of swords. Normally, like this would, I think, is you in your current situation. You're not dead, but usually there's like 10 swords stuck in them, which is all those little swords represent the fears of disappointing and, of losing conditional love and all these expectations, exhaustion, trying to live up to what you feel everyone wants from you, right? And the 10 is a great card to get with this, though, because this is, I am done. Stick a fork in me, I'm done, because it's ending to new beginnings. You're ready to let all this go. And I almost feel like this is like when you least expect it, boom, it's going to happen here. So I feel like it's going to happen more sooner than later. Luna, the moon here, it is about this. Um, the phases and the changes and understanding the tides of things, and knowing it's almost like kind of go with the flow of what's happening, knowing it's not forever. and not to put so much pressure on yourself, and just to kind of let a lot of the fears go of where you're at. And then, the moon card also has this huge C here, which is your unconscious, your subconscious. And there is this little bit of the reason why you have been with your in-laws is for you to learn about these fears and to kind of overcome them and release them so that you don't take them with you where you're going. It's a rare opportunity for you. I know you're like, yay, a classroom of sorts to show you things that you wouldn't have seen not living with them. And the more energy you put into realizing, okay, what am I fearing in this situation? What's bubbling down here under the surface that, this situation is really reminding me of something earlier in my life? What fears and triggers are coming up? And the more energy you put into them, the faster the wheel spins and you're able to, you'll have a new location. But it's like, the lessons repeated until it is learned because you wanted this situation. I know it's hard to believe it, but your higher self wanted this to happen for you. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So you can look at it and go, okay, what fear or fears do I have around this? What triggers are coming up? What is constantly in my face? And then you're like, okay, I see what it is. When you resolve them and you transform them from something of fear into something of love, that spins things faster and you'll be moving out. So it's really within your um hot little hands on what happens. I'm going to use some playing cards here. It's something that we've been introducing at times here, and so you're gonna be a guinea pig, and I'm gonna see if they'll give you any range because I feel like this is a range. The more you work on it, the faster it'll be, and if you just kind of keep going things now, what will be the last day that it will happen here? All right, all right. So I have the three here. And the three of clubs is actually the three of wands and the standard tarot. So the three, I feel this is going in a different direction. So this is moving into a different direction. And I feel like the three is like the soonest it would be is, I mean, literally 3 weeks is when you could separate from your in-laws, depending on how much time you put into understanding what your fears are that are going inside of you. Otherwise, you've got the 10 of wands, which this is the burdensome feeling, and it'll be 10 months before you would move out. So, it's about putting the energy into it and where you're focusing your energy with those. So, that is what is coming through for you, Ashish. So, many blessings. Hang in there. All right. And I do not have any donations. So that will be my last free reading for this session. And we're going to head and close this down. Um, thank you guys again so much for all the thumbs up that you've given the video. I really, really appreciate all the love and all the support and the thirst that you have for spirit and from hearing for them. Um, just know that I shall return in about 6 hours. And of course, I'm here Wednesday through Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So as you're going throughout your moment by moments, know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you guys again, much love to you. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your night, wherever you're at in the world, and we'll see you soon. You guys take care.